Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, Parksiders. Today we are at Epcot for the first day of Festival of the Arts 2025. Last year we unfortunately were so busy that we did not make it out to Festival of the Arts. We got the Figment popcorn bucket last year because it was really cool.
Yeah.
Even though we're not like huge Figment fans, we did come in like very quickly to get that, but we didn't spend any time at the festival trying any of the food or anything like that. So today we're here on the first day. We are going to get into Festival of the Arts. I have about 5 or 6 food items that I've circled that we want to try. We're not going to do every single new item, but we are going to do all new items and share those with you today, this morning, and then show you some of the other things, the activations that are happening around Festival of the Arts that make this one of like Disney fan favorite. A lot of people, this is their favorite celebration or festival here that happens at Epcot each year.
Yeah, I was going to say, personally for me, this is my favorite.
Yeah, this is a great one.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's get started.
Let's do it. So now we're in line for chalk art. This is where this is another installation where they draw these on the ground. And then a little ways down that way, we can see someone actually drawing it in real time. And we have Moana. Down there is Ant-Man. And there's a few other ones. And these do change over time.
We are inside Communicore Hall. This hall, I know there's been a lot of like complaints about, well, they're not doing much for the festivals with this hall, because that's what it was built for. It was built for like a festival hub. Well, this is the first festival where they have a full exhibit in here, and this is exactly what I wanted them to do with a space like this, is to have rotating exhibits, classes, stuff like that in here, like they used to do with the festivals. So this is called Once Upon a Stage, and it's celebrating 30 years of Disney on Broadway. So you have costumes, you have stage design, props, things on display from Disney's productions on Broadway. Really nice. They also have festival merchandise. Ooh, it just got bright. They also have festival merchandise in here as well. And I think we're gonna kind of show you, overlay some of the festival merch here. I'm sure you can get festival merch outside of this location, but this is one of the hubs for festival merch. There's also outside at the walk-up window, there is a food spot, where you can get festival food. That's like kind of the first booth that you come to for Festival of the Arts. So first up we have the cheddar salmon scone, and it does have caviar on top. Nice. They used to have something similar to this. I think it was during Flower and Garden, and it was over by the UK Pavilion, and it was really good. And so I'm wondering if this is just as good. I think I'm gonna do this with a fork and knife. So give me one moment while I get a bite with a fork and knife. All right, so I have a bite with everything. I'm not sure what the cream is. I'll have to figure that out. With the salmon, the scone, and some caviar as well, so let's try it. The scone itself is a little bit cold because I know that they're keeping them in a cold area just to have them last longer. The salmon is a nice flavor. I thought it was going to be a little dry. It's not too dry. Overall, all the flavors go well together, except I feel like the cream that they put on top, there's just not quite enough of it. You're going to probably get to a point where this one's a little bit dry, but overall that one bite is really flavorful, and it's a huge portion for $7.50. If you're into salmon, smoked salmon, I would definitely recommend getting this because you're going to enjoy it, and it's definitely shareable. You could probably share it with like 3 people if you're going around having bites. So next up is the soft shell crab slider. You get a whole crab in here. I'm going to kind of hold it up for you like a full crab. So we're going to try to position it and get a good bite here. It has a nice crunch. You have a subtle flavor of the crab. There's a little kind of a slaw in there too that's going to help kind of break up the oiliness of that exterior of the crab. This is a solid choice. Once again, this is $7.50. I think it's a really good portion. You can definitely split it between 2 people. It's a nice portion for a soft shell crab slider and a good price point. I like the flavor here. It's not too salty. I think you're going to get some probably vinegariness from that slaw that they have inside. I recommend this one as well.
All right, so here we have the beef Wellington, and I'm already impressed by the portion size. The beef Wellington is located at the Craftsman's Courtyard.
It's $8.50.
And it's $8.50 for a price point. So the full name is the Beef Wellington-inspired Croissant Supreme. I had to make sure. This is with creamed spinach croissant, pinwheel, mushroom gorgonzola ragu, mustard grilled flank steak, red wine sauce, and pickled mustard seeds. So let's get into this. So as I cut into it, the croissant has a nice crunch to it. So you can see inside the spinach. That's inside the croissant. Let's get into this. The first reaction is cold, but you can taste the mustard. It's not overwhelming. The price point for that, I think this is worth it. Plenty of meat. This is definitely shareable. So yeah, you could definitely share this between two people. I would recommend this one, yes. What are your thoughts on it?
So I had a bite. I think it's delicious. It is a little cold, but I think that's just going to come with this dish because it's a croissant. It does have spinach in the middle. They are cooking the steak here on the grill outside, so it tastes fresh in that respect, but it is cold. You also need to get a bite with everything, like the mushroom sauce that it has on it. There's also, a red wine sauce. So you need to make sure you have a bite with all the sauce on it, and it turns into a really nice bite. And like TJ said, this is really shareable as well. So far, the first 3 items are very shareable. They're not puny. I think the price point is right. There was like 3-4 slices of a generous slice of steak on this. So definitely recommend this one as well. So we are in the expression section and we're painting a mural. I already did my part. TJ's gonna do his. He's figuring out how to manage.
They said to be careful because this paint is permanent.
Yes.
So do not get it on your toes or your fingers.
He has 14, and with one container, he's supposed to paint 5 sections, and he's found 5 sections all in a row. I did the same. I'm sure that they have people come in and touch it up. He's doing the best he can. But this is nice. There's several different pieces that they'll do. So once this one's complete, they'll take down the canvas. I think they donate it to like schools and stuff to hang up. And then they'll put up a new one. And I think there's a total of 4 different murals that they're going to be painting over the length of this festival. Once you complete your painting, then you turn in your empty paint container and recycle your brush, and then they give you a complimentary bookmark that shows what you painted, which is a nice keepsake. So we have the candy trio flight. You'll see that it's knocked over and it's just kind of a mess because the holders for these little spheres that they have the DOLE Whip in just aren't great. But let me describe what we have. So we have the DOLE Whip strawberry with STARBURST Minis. So there's a candy associated with each of the flavors of DOLE Whip. And then we have lemon, DOLE Whip lemon with SKITTLES POP'd freeze-dried candy. And then we have the DOLE Whip lime with chili lime seasoning and Lifesaver gummies. The presentation is really cute. It's just the stabilization on this is not great at all. So keep that in mind when you get it. You're gonna maybe need 2 hands and you're gonna need to balance it perfectly. But you'll notice it's not too hot because the DOLE Whip isn't completely melted. We're gonna go ahead and give it a try and I'll give you a reaction afterwards.
So over at the inspiration station across the way, you can see the line, or the queue rather, for the Figment popcorn bucket. It's new this year. Different from the one that we currently have. I believe it's sitting on a balloon and the popcorn sits inside of that and Figment's, I believe, on top of it. I haven't seen it yet. But I do believe it's the same as last year where you had to join a virtual queue to get it and then you just wait. Or it might just be a line, either or. But we might walk through there and see, but it just looks very busy. So we might pass on that. We weren't planning on getting it, but we might walk over there and see how it looks.
This is the Black Cocoa Brownie. It is from Fictional Victuals, which is across from Disney Traders, kind of in between formerly known as Future World and World Showcase. So I have to say right off the bat that the picture looks better than what is presented, in my opinion. I don't know, they just captured it really nicely in their picture, and I don't know, it's just kind of, everything seems disjointed, whereas in the picture everything looks like it all supposed to be together. Okay, first off, first reaction, this brownie is very hard. I don't know if I can do it while holding it in my hand. It is so hard, but we're gonna grab the brownie like this. Like, that's all I can do at this point, is just put a knife into it. It's just super dense, and it's not like rock hard, but it's just a super dense, and it's a kind of a heavy cake. Then we have this green. I need to tell you everything that's in it. And then there's an ube. Ooh, it's a really sticky, stringy ube, which is not the best flavor. This is the weakest link for me at this point so far of everything we've tried today. Let me just tell you real quick what's included in this. It's a black cocoa brownie with ube ice cream, coral tuile, and sponge cake. It is new. I can tell that the spiral seashell, that's just like white chocolate. So I would pass on this one. Sorry. And then regarding the DOLE Whip, because we didn't talk about that. So the DOLE Whip was your standard DOLE Whip. Our favorite was the lime DOLE Whip. And then the candies were the candies. Those were all flavors that you expect. I think for that, it was really presentation. But the problem with that presentation is it's not very mobile. So you need to get it to a table or a trash can as soon as you can. So those little circular sphere containers don't go flying across the park. That just was a little bit more frustrating, just because it's a beautiful concept to present the trio and the flight. It's just not very practical to walk from point to point with it. This is from Gourmet Landscapes, which is over by Canada. It's the Citrus-Braised Beet Tartare with golden beet egg yolk and parentheses around that. So it is, I'm guessing this is plant-based, yes. Mustard, vinaigrette, pickled mustard seeds, pickled mushrooms, spiced pistachios, and quote-unquote feta snow. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this. I had a beet dish last year at, I think it was Halloween Horror Nights. They did like a beet flatbread thing that was really good over at Universal. So I'm interested to try this. I'm gonna try to get everything in the bite here. It also comes with like a crostini. That's a thumbs up for me. It's a nice flavor. Maybe, I think there's a slightly, maybe, it's not too vinegary, maybe a slightly too much vinegar. Maybe it needs a tad more salt to balance out the vinegar. But this is a nice flavorful dish and plant-based. All right, we have a new flight over here at the American Adventure. It's called The Artist's Table is the name of the booth. And we have a trio of deviled eggs. So we have Pimento, we have Green Goddess, and then we have a BLT. We're now at home, and we didn't react to the deviled eggs. So TJ and I both were disappointed in the deviled eggs. They were kind of wet, if you would say that, kind of soggy a little bit, and there was not much flavor in any of them. I would say the Pimento was the weakest link. Green Goddess was okay, and then maybe the best one was the BLT, which of course it had bacon on top, so that probably helped the situation. But I would give those a pass, unfortunately, or maybe we just had a bad batch and it would be better a different day. It has gotten a little warm, so we've come over to the shade. It's like can be chilly in the shade, but then in the sun it's warm. Today is January what, 15th? 17th. Oh wow, already the 17th. And I think the high was supposed to be 60, high 60s today.
Right now, 60.
Okay, but it's been pretty nice weather. We just probably should have shed a layer of clothing or long sleeves.
So that's okay. We're done. We're wrapped up.
We are outside of the park now, and it is very busy. A very busy first day of the festival. It is, what time is it? It is almost 3 o'clock. So we did quite a bit. So my favorite thing was the soft shell crab slider. I thought that was really good. That wasn't originally on my list. Kind of slipped that in there, but I'm glad that we tried it.
Yeah, and then my favorite, what was the one salmon?
The scone.
Yes, the scone. That was very good.
And those were the same booth.
Yeah, so I believe it was the cream cheese or whatever.
It had like a cream cheese.
Whatever frosting was, like, not frosting, but
salmon, and then it had caviar on top.
Yes, that was my favorite.
Both of those were very good. They're at the same booth. And my miss was that dessert with the brownie, the cocoa brownie. I just didn't think that was very good.
Yeah, the fact that
you didn't even try it.
No, because it looked hard, and I was like, I'll let you have that.
It was hard, but it wasn't like crusty hard. It was just very like dense and heavy. It was not a win.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let us know what you have tried for Festival of the Arts, or what your favorite from Festival of the Arts is down in the comments. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, make sure to like, and thank you to our Patreon members.
Yes, thank you so much.
And we will see you again next time right here.
Okay.